Thank you. Yield back.
Mr. Espaillat.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Secretary, thank you. First, I want to thank you for your recent compensation program for flights delay and cancel, and the dashboard page that you have available for consumers. I think it's important that we help consumers as delays and cancellations continue to occur. But thank you for that, and I also obviously want to thank you, express my sincerity for including $496 million in the proposed funding for Second Avenue Subway. And thank you for coming to Harlem. That's an important project that will obviously connect Harlem to the rest of the world. And I also want to stress to my colleagues in the committee that this also provides a social equity component that I think is so important to the communities that we represent, those that have been left behind for far too long, and that need for these projects not just to be a transportation project for a transportation desert, but an economic stimulus for the communities that we serve. And I thank you for your vision and the president's vision for this particular model. Given the complex nature of urban subway expansions, what measures are being implemented to ensure that Second Avenue Subway Phase 2 remains on schedule and within budget?
Well, thank you for your ongoing support for this effort, and it was an absolute joy and one of the highlights of my time here to be able to celebrate that signature with people who had been waiting for so long in the case of the Second Avenue Subway, and finally seeing that funding. Now all eyes are on delivery, and that means making sure that we maintain a tight cadence of interaction and collaboration with MTA and all of the players involved in that. We're doing that through our Federal Transit Administration, but this is also a big enough project that is being tracked at an agency-wide level too. We know that hurdles and issues can come up. We stand committed to working through any of those to make sure that this is delivered now that the funding is in place, because the people of those Harlem communities and really that whole part of New York that is served up to 125th Street deserve finally seeing that project through after having waited literally for decades in order to see it become real.
Well, I hope the subway leaves the station fairly soon, Mr. Secretary. But I have another question. As you know, I represent a district that has a significant number of Dominican Americans, and as you know, the Department of State and the government of the Dominican Republic are in final talks for a long-anticipated modern U.S.-DR open skies agreement. The cost of flying back home for many of these families is exuberant. When they go visit their families back home, sometimes they have to pay $1,500 to $2,000. So a family of four is going to have a difficult time going back home. And I want to know, given the evolving dynamics of international air travel, what strategies are in place to ensure the effective implementation of the modernized U.S.-DR Open Skies Agreement?
Thank you. I know how important this is, especially to Dominican communities in the U.S. and to the Dominican Republic, and have had direct conversations with my counterparts from the Dominican Republic about the importance of this. Our department and our interagency partners at State and Commerce are all participating in these negotiations. We've been negotiating for some time. We're very encouraged by recent progress, though we're not there quite yet. And the real focus is to make sure that we can get to a good place while maintaining the essential elements of a U.S. Open Skies Agreement and the policies that have helped to define that through us in our relationships with all of the countries where we have an air transport agreement. So we're looking forward to getting to conclusion on a modernized agreement for what is the largest Caribbean market for U.S. travelers. And Open Skies would certainly further facilitate travel and tourism by promoting competition and, we think, creating more affordable options for travelers.
Thank you. And finally, could you elaborate how the Federal Highway Administration investment will help to advance environmental restoration and cleanup within our nation's highways?
Yes, thank you. Often there is a brownfield element to some of the grants that we are pursuing, including federal highways. That's one of the things that, pursuant to our statutory authority, can help a project to score well in discretionary programs. And we certainly value chances to work with project sponsors to make sure that cleanups are, where required, part of the benefit of a transportation project for the future.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Thank you. Mr. Siscomani.
Thank you, Chairman, and glad to see you in this committee as well. I know you've been serving for a while, and it was great serving with you on FSG.